What's up guys, welcome back, hope you're doing well. So it has been a few weeks since the launch of Nvidia's GTX 1080 Ti, but only now are we starting to see add-in board partner variants hit store shelves, and as it turns out, the shelves in my office. So we'll be looking at one such offering today. Meet the Strix GTX 1080 Ti OC edition from the folks at Asus, which we would hope provides a cooler, quieter, and possibly faster GTX 1080 Ti over Nvidia's Founders Edition. Sporting the same GP102 GPU as Titan X Pascal, the Strix shares identical specs with the FE, save for the higher core and boost clocks dialed in by Asus, making it the faster card out of the box. And we mustn't forget, Nvidia has also fitted the GTX 1080 Ti with only 11 gigs of GDDR5X in a failed attempt to reassure Titan X owners that they didn't waste their money. Now, with a powerful GPU like the GP102, the admission price for a cool and quiet card is physical size, and the Strix is no exception. Spanning 11.7 inches long, 5.3 inches tall, and 2.1 inches thick, small form factor builders may find trouble stuffing this 2.5 slot card and its enormous fin stack into a mini ITX case, and this may be one scenario where the Founders Edition makes more sense with its smaller blower style design. The open-air shroud boasts a sturdy plastic construction with minimal flex, inspiring confidence in the card's build quality. Meanwhile, a trio of patented wing-blade 90mm fans stay frozen at lower temperatures to eliminate noise emissions, but otherwise push air downwards onto a quintet of 6mm heat pipes joining two aluminum heat sinks, one of which sports a copper heat spreader that provides twice as much contact with the GPU. Apparently, traditional heat spreaders aren't as perfectly flat as they appear to the naked eye, so Asus has utilized precision machining to produce a flatter surface that maximizes contact with the GPU for improved thermal transfer. The fin stack itself allegedly features 40% more surface area over previous two-slot designs, which granted doesn't tell us much since there have been a tremendous number of dual-slot cards in the past, but I suppose phrasing it this way sounds more scientific than "these heatsinks are hella big." Trading in the reference card's 6 and 8-pin power plugs for a dual 8-pin set indicates a custom PCB, accompanied by a 10+2 phase power design, premium alloy components for reduced power loss and thermals, and some bonus connectivity. With Asus Fan Connect 2, users get a pair of 4-pin PWM fan headers that can be automatically or manually controlled based on GPU or CPU thermals, as well as an Aura-supported RGB header conveniently placed at the front of the card for easy access. Two SLI fingers in their familiar spots allow you to hit earth-shattering frame rates with two-way SLI. Would be great to test it though, Asus, just saying. A beautiful brushed aluminum backplate reinforces the PCB, but not quite enough to eliminate all GPU sag, though it's not terrible and this is admittedly a tall order for a card this size. The backplate's large ROG logo is one of the card's several RGB LED elements, all of which can be configured or disabled within the Aura software. Color accuracy is on point with the exception of a rather warm white, and the overall execution looks cool but tasteful with no visible hotspots. The rear I/O has been thoughtfully redone to accommodate VR users with HDMI-connected head-mounted displays. In total, you get two HDMI 2.0B, two DisplayPort 1.4, and a single dual-link DVI port. Now, taking to my Z270 test build running a 7700K clocked to 5 GHz, which for the record I would not recommend with a Hyper 212 cooler, it was time to overclock the already overclocked Strix GTX 1080 Ti. In the end, I managed a core clock offset of 110 MHz and a memory clock offset of 375, taking us to a loaded core clock frequency of 2025 MHz and a memory clock speed of 1470. As you can see, the card barely topped 70 degrees Celsius with these figures, a whopping 15 degrees cooler than my GTX 1080 Ti Founders Edition, all the while retaining an excellent acoustic profile that far exceeded my expectations. So far, the Strix has already impressed me to the point where I would recommend it based on the cooling and noise improvements alone, but obviously that won't stop me from testing it in a slew of games at 1440p and 4K. So using our mentioned overclock with the latest 378.92 Wickle drivers on Windows 10, here is a look at the benchmarks. So clearly, our card of the hour does not trounce the Founders Edition in gaming performance, as we only saw about a 1 to 4% increase in average frame rates. As a matter of fact, 1440p performance was nearly identical between the two cards in most of our games. 4K is where the Strix really seem to outshine the Founders Edition by a margin so slight, the few extra frames rendered would likely go unnoticed to the average user. In closing, that's not to say the Strix GTX 1080 Ti doesn't deliver a spectacular, high-end AAA gaming experience, especially when paired with the G-Sync supported display. The Founders Edition Ti is already a hell of a beast, with unruly thermals and acoustics that Asus has managed to tame phenomenally well, raising the bar for other custom variants. While it's undoubtedly a steep buy at $780 US at the time of filming, the $80 premium over the Founders Edition is worth every penny, and everyone should go buy 2 of them immediately, assuming you have ample room in your chassis and funds in your wallet. But that's gonna do it for now, guys, so leave me some feedback in the comments. Let me know if this kind of performance is worth the price to you. Also, feel free to toss me a like on the video if you enjoyed it. It helps me a lot. And before you go, allow me to shamelessly plug Bitwit Ultra, my $1 a month early access ad-free channel where my videos post early without ads. Holy crap! That sentence was more redundant than a Raid 10 array. Also, check out my store for shirts and mugs and yada yada yada. As always, I'm Kyle Bitwit. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see y'all in the next video.